All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. So today's theme is definitely inspired and in reference to a lot of the inner work that I've been doing. And I can definitely tell you, especially if you are a healer, if you're a coach, you're somebody who is on this journey of personal healing and transformation. Um, it's so important to consider space. And in this work that we're doing, firstly, it's not easy because for most people out there, or maybe for the avatar of us from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, um, at that point, we probably didn't think we would be doing this kind of work to get here. But something along the way in our lives led us on this path. And over a period of time, we have been doing, several experiments. We've been exploring different ways to be able to do the inner work that is so important in our own personal journey. And one large part of that is being able to create space. Now, I say this also because if you think about it, space is not just the physical space, which means being extremely mindful of, how you spend your time, where you spend your time, and of course, with whom you spend your time. That is one part of space. The other part, of course, is that in the work that we're doing on a daily basis, whether it is in our interactions with family, with friends, or maybe even, with the, let's say, the community that we live in and surround ourselves with, space is something that is so important because when we are able to give ourselves that space, we're able to create that environment where we can go within and truly tap into the answers to the questions that we are constantly reflecting on and thinking on. Now, these are questions that may be linked to your life. These are questions that are maybe linked to the work that you're doing, especially if you're somebody who's a healer and a coach and you're constantly bombarded on all your different social media devices or social media channels that you follow. You're constantly seeing these stories and these ads and things like different reminders that people out there are sort of like wearing this image, this vision of success, and it's very easy to compare. It's very easy to get lost in that. So space is something that is very, very vital because when you're able to create that space, you're also able to keep coming back to the basics, keep coming back to your core. Think about it like this: you're doing the work that you're doing because something inside of you, changed uh, so deeply that you realize that you're meant to do this work and you're meant to make truly make a difference in other people's lives. I'm not just only talking about this from a sort of alternate career that, oh, okay, maybe you're working 9 to 5 and you're like, okay, maybe I can do this job as a job, meaning I'll replace my 9 to 5 with maybe creating courses, maybe um, you know doing, whether it's webinars, workshops, whatever it is that is sort of like the way to be able to build your business. Those obviously have a role to play, but again, everybody's on a different path. Um, each one of us have a different journey. Sure, the end point is probably the same, but the journey is individual, the journey is personal. So something that, like I said, it's been coming to me over and over again that if your intention and if you really truly feel that you're meant to go out and make a difference in the world, then it is so important to be able to keep ensuring that you're creating space, and you're creating that moment in time where you're able to go within, reflect, and truly ask those questions that are important. I'm sure you've seen enough and more stories of people, whether they are creators, whether they are coaches, who may or may not, uh, be able to, um, let's say, achieve a particular target that they had set out. Uh, but in as much as you're able to reach a target, remember at the end of the day, we are talking about being able to do this for the rest of your life. If that is what drives you, then it is really important to be able to make that space and create that space, to be also therefore teach this to your community. Because if you're intending to, help people and do it in a way where it's not just your, it's not it's not something that you're doing for yourself, but you're doing for others. It's important to be able to create that space, and therefore you're also being an example for other people so that they are also able to um, get into the habit of creating that space for themselves. So, as I said, these podcasts, these daily recordings that I've been doing now for quite a while are designed partly for me, they're designed for you, with the intention and the reminder that you truly matter. And it's very good, it's very useful to be aware of what is out there, whether it is formulas, whether it's blueprints, whether it's techniques, uh, all the catchy things that you probably have come across on your journey to hopefully build a business. But one thing I can tell you is that, and I've said this many, many times to my students, um, you know, this work that we're doing, it's not about just being able to sell the course or just being able to, to create these programs. The real work begins after people have paid and they show up. And in this work that we're doing, whether it's healing, whether it's coaching, I believe that's why the term healer coach, because whether you're a healer or you're a coach, you're doing both. You may start from one end, but eventually you will be doing a combination of both. So it is so important to make sure that you're constantly checking in with yourself. I know I've been doing this every single year, and from time to time I take these micro sabbaticals, and it's not exactly like it's a holiday. These are those micro moments of uh, reflection. At one point, of course, they were more obvious. Like I've done the Vipassana at one point, I've done various courses, but now, having reached this point on my journey, I know that it's important from time to time to really pause, reflect within, and ask these questions, because tomorrow, when people show up, they are going to be tapping into your energy. When I show up on a call, they are tapping into my energy. And, as long as I'm able to keep asking these important questions to myself, as long as I'm able to do that self inquiry, I know that, I'm able to stay true to myself over and over again. And as they say, if you believe in fate, if you believe in what's written for you, you will anyway receive and you will get what's meant for you. Um, no matter what you might see around you, and maybe you get tempted, maybe you get what they used to call FOMO. Maybe you get worried that, oh my God, I'm not able to do this. What's going to happen? These are those moments which are designed to truly make you reflect within, make you, um, it's like truly the real test of your intention. And as long as you're willing to believe, as long as you're willing to stay open, it's like I was telling the group that I had worked with on the weekend. You are, and when I was talking about from my perspective, it's like I'm the vessel. So my intention is to receive, and in receiving, I'm able to give. That receiving could be spirit, that receiving could be, a greater intention that comes from God, that comes from the universe, whatever you believe in. And for me, that's something that I have come to recognize over and over again, that um, I'm here purely as a vessel, and my intention is to keep reflecting within. And as I do that, of course, uh, change happens, transformation happens, and asking these questions are what I know is what keeps me uh, not only connected to the mission, but it also helps me hold that line, hold that space, because eventually our work is primarily about holding space for other people while they are able to find the answers to their, um, to their lives. Uh, let's say, the gaps or the vacuums that they have in their life. And as I said, I do these pods just as a moment of reflection. For years and years, I've experimented with different formats of being able to do a journal or a diary, and somehow that format never worked or never stuck, even though I've tried many times. But being here like this, talking to you, knowing that you're listening to this at exactly the time that you're meant to receive this, kind of like reminds me of that uh, scene from the movie The Avatar or Avatar. I'm guessing now it must be at least 10 or 15 years ago. I kind of can't remember exactly when it was, but there's that one particular scene where the hero, the main protagonist, is told to look into the camera and just get into the habit of recording daily. And of course, somehow that scene stuck with me. I never quite understood why. And over the last couple of years, this is a habit that I've been developing and cultivating and growing more and more. And I've done these recordings at different points, through the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, through losses, through successes. But I've always made it a point to do this recording before the day is over. And as I said, the if you ask me what really fuels this work that we do as healer coaches, is to have the ability to ask those difficult questions, to to be able to hold that space for ourselves, and ultimately, as we do this for ourselves, we're also able to do this for our clients, for our students. And so I can definitely say that I wish you uh, the very best on your journey in all that you're doing, and um, your reason to do this work. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again: if there's any way in which I can help you on that path, of course, we have like a more well-defined path. We have a free community, so you can come in and attend our Monday, Friday sessions that are at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's a 1 hour session every Monday and Friday. That's one way to get acquainted with what we do. And when you feel it's time for you to, absorb and learn these skills so that you can help other people, that's the time when you can be part of our practitioner programs. And of course, at the time of this recording this year, we are also planning live in person workshops. We're also looking at doing meetups. So these are different ways in which you can, practice the skill of going within, of becoming more familiar with your own, um, with your own inner journey. And also, we have recorded courses, recorded demonstrations that we've done. So when you're at that point where you want to learn what I use in our sessions, there are programs that are available. So it's almost like at a self-paced. Um, it's like a self-paced program, so you can pace yourself as you're learning. So there are different ways in which you can go deeper and deeper. And like I said, my intention as I'm doing this, and I've already been doing this now for closer to 2 decades, for literally like about 20 years now, the intention is to be able to help you develop the same kind of resolution, the same kind of resolve to learn and apply it. And then, of course, eventually to be able to teach it to other people so that you can be that source of light in their lives. And by definition, in it's like, in the families that come to you and their families and so on and so forth. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this year flows. Speaking of which, of course, we have our practitioner program that's starting now in just about 2 weeks' time. So, if you're getting started, if you're watching this and as being already part of a community, definitely come and ask for more details. And you're more than welcome to come and be part of our practitioner program. Our level one is a 30-day program, and then of course we have level two, which is another 90 days. So there are folks who are already, who've done the level one a couple of times before, and now they're repeating, doing a level one as well as the level two. So it all depends on where you are and where you want to start. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the coming days. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. And if there's any way in which I can help you, please do reach out and let me know. Of course, having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Take care.